Hey, Dave Knight here from 123daytrade.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Today, uh, I guess this is going to be a kind of a video that talks about a continuation of the one thing thought process that I have been bringing up in day trading. And the reason that I'm recording this is that I watched a trading buddy online with his video blog. And obviously well, I shouldn't say obviously because that's not really true. He's struggling, and I can hear it in his voice. And I've been there. I've been in his shoes. I know exactly. It's called, he's got all this information that's been plowing into his head. So there's like information from this guy, and there's information from this guy, and information from this guy, and information. So he's being overwhelmed, and his head is usually this size, but now it's like this big because of all the information that's in there. And it's information overload. I've been there, and eventually I had to come to the point that I had to just start pitching. You know, this stuff doesn't work. This is bullshit. But how did I come to that decision process? Well, a lot of times it was through the mistakes of trading and figuring out that what this person may be teaching works for him, it doesn't work for me. Or it works maybe in that environment, but it doesn't work in this environment. Or you pick the reason and then substitute that reason in. And even my stuff that I put together, you know, some people understand it, other people don't. But the one thing that I believe more than any other thing that drives the market, and you can quote me on this, it's volume. If you go and look at the video from yesterday, it'll say CL pitch strategy, PPM failure. And the bar comes out at 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time on the crude oil inventory report. And it's a huge bar. I mean, it dwarfs everything around it, everything in front of it, everything behind it. I call it an HVS sky. If there's one thing that I've realized in learning how to trade, and you know, and a lot of this isn't my concepts. I mean, Tom Williams has since passed away just recently, and I learned a lot from just reading his books. And I've never taken a trade guide or course other than grabbing a book or reading a little bit here and there on VSA or picking up the Wyckoff course that he learned from. So, but if you look at his volume spread analysis decisions, what's that first word that he uses inside of that? And they coined it VSA, right? It was volume. Volume leads everything. Volume leads everything. I want you to get that in your head right now. I need you to understand that volume, especially as a day trader, that there's a reason why those spikes hit the market. There's a reason why volume leads everything, because without it, there's no volatility, there's no velocity. And if you don't have those things, those components in your trading, and you don't have momentum, you have kind of a narrow sideways channel is what you end up having without velocity and momentum and volatility. You just don't have anything outside of an event. Event surprises the market, but if the event surprises the market, then you have volume to go with it as well. So regardless of the instrument that you choose to trade, if it's not liquid enough, then it doesn't make sense to trade, right? So volume's got to be there. You got to be able to get in and out easily, but you also have to be able to recognize what volume is showing to you. Now, I'm not perfect. I never claim to be a master trader. You'll never hear it from me. As long as I'm living, I'll never say I'm a master trader. You know, that brings up another point. Anyone who's living, who calls himself a master trader, is a liar. Plain and simple. There is no master trader. There is no such thing. The only way that you can be called a master trader is someone else calls you a master trader. And here's my reasoning. It's like someone that's talking in the third person about himself, right? I did this and I'm so great, da 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 da, yeah, blah 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 blah, and it just goes in one ear and out the other, right? Because one person is just spouting out about how great I am, and there's a lot of people and there's a lot of egos in this business. Trust me. I'm going to. I've been recording a lot of the stuff that, just saving it from VHS tape and moving it over into a digital format so I can, keep it for my own personal use. With that being said, I'm going to, since I'm shifting things around this year, I want to show you all the courses that I have invested in over the years of, of the so-called master traders. And I want to show you all the books that I've invested. I'm guaranteeing you that if you add up everything, and this is just a fraction of things that I have, when you do see it, I bet you can, I hate to even put a dollar amount on it. I don't want to put a dollar amount on it because I know it's over with things I've taken online, with things that I have, with just stuff that you see me have. I know that I'm at least $10,000, in on things that I've bought, books I've bought, tapes I've got, DVDs, so forth and so on. Now, the one thing that you've got to get out of your head is that if someone claims, it's a blanket statement, I know, and you might disagree with me, but think of them as talking to themselves, talking about themselves in the third person. Do you respect someone that sits around and says how great they are? I'm so great, I'm so great, I'm so... It gets boring, it gets tiring, You don't want to hear from that. You don't want to hear that shit because you know that person's lying. I mean, you want, results speak a lot of lots. So what I believe in and what I think you should believe in is if other people are speaking highly of that person and they call this person is a master trader or a doctor trader, whatever you want to put a claim and a title behind or in front of that person, that's more valid than a person, quote unquote, call himself a master trader. I've been through a bunch of different websites during this period of time, and I can count at least on both hands some vendors out there that call themselves master traders. What I would tell you real quick is save your money, don't bother, don't even look at it. I mean, there's a lot of information out here on the internet that you don't have to spend a dollar for. And if someone went through my blogs and went through every post that I put together and went through every video that I put up on YouTube, you wouldn't have to pay me a dime either, because you would build your own trading strategy and method. So I want to leave you with that today. Now, obviously, I have an ulterior motive because I believe what I'm putting together is a valid way of attacking the market. So anyway, I just wanted to share today, and I wanted to, my heart is I know what this guy's going through because I've been there. I've been in that information overload phase of my life, where I'm just pouring in information, trying to find anything that'll work, and nothing's working because it's all bullshit. Because every one of them that it works in a very specific period of time. Maybe they've curve fit it to make it work inside. They've back tested it so that it shows up correctly in that period of time. But then when you move it forward, it doesn't work. You think, well, it worked then. Why doesn't it work now? Well, because it was curve fitted, right? Because they developed something that doesn't stand up to the test of time. I can tell you this. One of the few things that I believe stands up to the test of time, and I wouldn't say go buy all his courses because it's quite expensive, but Joe Ross had put out a thing called the Law of Charts. He calls it TLOC. That in itself, his concept of the law of charts. Now, he doesn't use volume, so I moved on from him. But just the concept of the law of charts that he's put together, that should be like law, and then you have the law of supply and demand, right? Those two laws should be the starting point of your trading strategy, all right? The third component would be risk management. Actually, risk management should be your first component. then your trade management, then your money management, in that order. So you've got to determine your risk that you're willing to take per trade. What's your ouch point? Your second point is developing that trading method, strategy, management of how you're going to come in and out of a trade. And that goes back to you know you're in and you know you're out as soon as you put the order in, right? And especially you're out. You've got to know your exit point. Speaking of that, anyone that says that you shouldn't enter a stop loss in the market, they're an idiot. They're a fool. They're ignorant. Do not listen to them. Ask for a full refund of everything you've ever spent on them. Period. And if anyone disagrees with me, you're full of shit. All right, and then the other side of that is money management. Money management, you've got to have a way to take money out of the market. And I said this before, Jesse Livermore talked about it. And, he had gun to his head, think of that image. He ended his life with a gun and a bullet to his brain. If he would have pulled money out of the market, if he would have practiced what he preached, I don't believe he would have had a gun to his head and blown his head off at the end of his life. I really don't. I don't think that would, I think he would have had a happier ending and happier story. So the only safe money in the market is money that you pull out of the market. Never forget that, all right? God bless. Take care. I'll see you on the next video I put together. Bye for now.